Diddy's attorney, Mark Garagos, didn't try to soften the situation at all. He openly stated that Diddy is already being treated as a target. In fact, a serious incident had already occurred. Someone attempted to attack him with a weapon while he was being held at the MDC facility. The attack failed, but the message was unmistakable. Someone tried, and that alone completely changes the stakes. It's no surprise that behind the scenes, Diddy is now desperately seeking help.
Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or killed in prison. And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp, but he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to, from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can, to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
Garagos explained that danger like this is not unusual inside prison walls. People are assaulted. People are killed. That's the reality. And when someone is high-profile, widely known, and extremely wealthy, the risk increases dramatically. Because of that, authorities may have no real choice but to keep Diddy under constant, close supervision. Not because he's asking for special treatment, but because the threat is real. Jaguar Wright also questioned what this moment must feel like for him. A man who once spoke with total confidence, absolute control over every decision, now stripped of all of it. Once those doors close, there's no stage, no audience, no power structure left to rely on. She also openly mocked Diddy's public relations narrative, stating that he was no man of God at all. According to her, he worshipped the devil, not faith.
He had said in the documentary, he had said, I'm doing what God told me to do.
Yeah.
So he was basically saying his actions were ordained by our Father. And that kind of basically over law and man gave him the okay to do technically what he felt was right.
And
with
yet
the shirt,
God said no.
Yeah, right. So with the shirt itself, God said no. Do you feel like after, because this, of course, that video was made prior to his, the verdict and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he himself would be on the same thought process that, God is still telling him to, do as he is, do as he moves? Of course, God is telling everyone to do it, but for him to be able to have that same conviction on that video, do you think he'll be on the same motion as of now?
Well, see, that's the thing. It all depends on who you call God. I know some little weirdo who's on the cover of Forbes for, being a faithful servant to the God that he serves. He calls himself a God. I know plenty of people that say the word God, but just because you say the word God doesn't mean we're all serving the same entity. The question is who's serving the right God?
Hey,
that's the real question. I've been having conversations about this very interesting, back tattoo, which is an abomination in itself. Zole Dantor, I was just talking to everyone about how he pretty much turned it into a demonic symbol, and he's been pimping that whole thing because for those who know the Orishas, that particular Orisha is supposed to be the protector of women and children.
Wow.
Why would someone like him have that tattoo on his back?
Jaguar went on to argue that the 50 Cent documentary presents Diddy as the sole villain while quietly removing others who were involved behind the scenes. She said that imbalance doesn't protect him, it isolates him. And isolation inside that system is extremely dangerous.
I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the fact that almost every Diddy documentary that's out, he's in it.
He is. He
You
wasn't
know?
in this one though.
Huh? Oh no, he was in this one.
Oh, he was. You're correct. You are correct. He
He was
was.
in this one. He was sitting there smiling with a shit-eating grin, while Diddy is sitting there telling him that he is the gold standard of black excellence and how he's writing the price point for our people. And he's just so happy to be there. And listen to this demon run his face when he knows exactly what's going on. And it's really wild because I was listening not long, actually during the trial, he did a whole video calling me a liar and telling people why they shouldn't believe me. And he uses the same style of disinformation. It's like very interesting. Like he's got a style when he's doing this disinformation, when he's trying to get people to unbelieve what they saw with their...
She admitted that some of the claims in the documentary were not false, particularly when it came to the Quad Studios shooting and Jimmy Henchman. Much of what was said was technically true, but she emphasized that something critical was missing: context.
Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman,
Yeah,
yes.
he was bringing up Jimmy Henchman and all of this and all of that. And it's so funny because everything that he's saying is true, except for he left out one key part. Jimmy the Henchman did plenty of business with Diddy. Not just Diddy. I could think of a couple other rappers he did some dirty work for as well. And it's just so funny that he decided to start off by saying, oh, see, this was wrong. And they tried to get you to believe this and they tried to get you to believe that, except for that connecting part. And then the simple fact that you have Keefe D saying that he was contracted to handle up. So clearly, we're talking about the kind of situations where someone is using someone by proxy to handle their business for them. Now, of course, all of this is alleged. Keefe D, it's really strange. Keefe D, I'll never forget, because I went out to Vegas to cover his trial. I had a press pass. I was going to be in there the whole 9 yards, but they kept pushing everything back and pushing everything back. And then he got attacked just like Tory Lanez did, and everything went all to hell. Isn't it wild that he's been in there since 2023 and we're still waiting for his trial to come up in 2026? Puff didn't get pinched until a year after him and managed to get to trial and get through trial and get sentenced and get to serving his time before Keefe D. Keefe D is since 2023.
Yeah, he must not have the right to a speedy. They must have skipped that part.
Right to a speedy trial. I remember when I first got out there and he couldn't get a paid lawyer to represent him. He was dealing with a public defender. I rode in the elevator with a public defender twice. And he had money. Nobody would take his case.
Wow.
The word literally went out into the street to not take his case. To leave him in the hands of the...
According to Jaguar, none of this felt random. She believes a deliberate message was being sent. Her biggest issue with the documentary wasn't what it included, it was what it intentionally left out. By centering everything on one man and quietly erasing others involved, the story becomes polished, controlled, and dangerous. When you isolate one individual as the villain, you don't reveal the full truth. You create a target.
This documentary, if you didn't hate Diddy, it will make sure that you did. What I hate about it is how sanitized it is. And that's what I've been saying all along. It's sanitized. It's set up to make it seem like Diddy is the only bad guy, when it's keeping out a lot of other people that were involved, who had their hands involved in all kinds of things. Which also makes it vulnerable for people to go after it. Like I said, it's very clever. It's very, very, very clever.
Now,
It's just enough to make you hate the whole situation, but there's just enough misplaced and put in the wrong situation and this added here and this for you to be able to still have reasonable doubt on whether or not any of this stuff is real. Yeah. It's clever.
Would you call the documentary educational, informational, entertaining? Like where would you say this documentary?
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
And it's sad because there's a lot of stuff in there that's true. But there's enough left out to create doubt. And that's the same thing that happened with the trial. Actually, with the trial, it was a lot worse because with the trial, there was just a lot of stuff left out. There was more stuff in this documentary that was in the trial. Half of the stuff in this documentary should have been presented at the trial. Can you imagine if they had had any testimony from Little Rod and the footage that he had from that incident, that firearm incident where the guy G was damn near mortally wounded and was losing his life, and the footage that he had from that? Can you imagine if that had been shown to the jury?
She also questioned the timing of everything. Why was so much information released only after the verdict and sentencing? Why announce a documentary a full year before the trial even began, before raids, before arrests, before anything was public, yet somehow end up with footage that didn't even exist at that time? To her, that didn't feel like coincidence. It felt carefully planned. Jaguar pointed to moments where legal strategy was openly discussed on camera, talk of counterclaims, headline control, and shaping public perception long before charges were filed. That footage briefly surfaced, then disappeared just as quickly. Her question was simple: who lost it and who found it?
Announced that he was going to be doing this documentary before the arrest, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because the footage that he used, that he featured in this documentary, happened after he announced he was going to be doing the documentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
How lucky was that? What a find.
So
What a find that was. Like, let's think about that. He announced he was going to be doing the documentary December 2023 with Netflix. And the star footage that you use to get people to re-upload or resubscribe to Netflix to make this the #1 in their TV shows division for almost 2 weeks straight. Beating out Stranger Things. How much stranger is that?
I'm not Beckham.
This footage didn't even exist when you said you were going to be doing this documentary. So we've got a videographer, a rogue videographer that has this very, very, very explosive, very explosive footage of him literally sitting on camera, planning how to go after survivors, how to poison the jury pool, how to fix his trial in advance before he's even arrested. I mean, like, is anybody not forgetting when Mark Agnifilo was sitting there talking to the sons in the hallway, and they're sitting there filming, and he's sitting up there, yeah, well, see, what we got to do is we got to go and we got to put countersuits on all of these people. We have to create lawsuits.
All of this raises a bigger question. What could possibly motivate 50 Cent to publicly go after Diddy so aggressively? According to Deal, the answer lies in the past. Early in his career, 50 Cent was writing for other artists, working quietly behind the scenes, steadily building momentum. He was expected to be the next major star out of New York. Then suddenly, everything changed.
He did, man. He got everybody going, man. He's getting a lot of backlash, man. Like, people are like mad at 50 for getting behind this thing.
Well, see, the thing about it is that people are out there rabbit mind, and they gonna sit up here and they gonna say some stuff like, they try to make it up like, it's because of a girl, it's because of a woman. A man that can have any woman in the damn world, you understand, go any parts of the world, find beautiful women all over the world, that's willing to do whatever he wants to, I'm going to be mad because this dude got this one? Nah, it's bigger and it's more than that. They don't want to say it. A lot of these cats out here don't want to tell the truth behind shit.
When people ask why 50 Cent no longer has respect or love for Diddy, the explanation is simple. If someone helped block your career, isolated you when it mattered most, and had ties to people who wanted you completely removed, that history doesn't disappear. You don't forget it. You don't forgive it easily. And you don't suddenly play nice.
Try to take you out of here, try to stop you from eating and everything like that. Diddy was a part of that too. He was a part of that. Because he was telling the executives and people, don't mess with him. Just picture this, bro. He knew he could write. He knew 50 had talent. You understand? Why 50 ain't get a deal in New York City?
Facts, yeah. They had him blackballed. I mean, I think even
They
Irv
blackballed
Gotti
him.
talked about it in an interview that he blackballed him.
Right. But hold up, it ain't only Irv Gotti, because Puff had a voice just as much, or probably more than Irv. If Puff would have said, yo, I'm gonna sign this kid, who's gonna stop him? Why he didn't sign him? He wrote some of his best lyrics. You understand? Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whole thing about it is, man, and now these dudes out here want to portray like I supposed to love my enemy. Man, I don't turn the cheek, all that shit like that, no Diddy. I don't turn the cheek, I don't fuck around like that. But the whole thing about it is, if in fact somebody gonna pay me to get at my enemy, and I'm gonna get a piece of that PC.
Fly Digler also described Diddy as someone who always needed control. In his view, nothing was casual or accidental. It all felt strategic. One situation stood out more than any other. Out of everyone in the world, Diddy chose to get involved with the mother of 50 Cent's child.
I think that he just really is into sex. He like recording girls, and then him getting with 50 Cent's baby mother was definitely like a power move.
Oh yeah.
And then he records, so he keeps these recordings. So what I was thinking is like, what if he can be on some shit like, if he really want to get at it, like, look at your baby mama fucking on these dudes,
Right,
like
getting slipped out.
Yeah, getting slipped out, like to really piss him off. Like maybe I feel like sometimes, I feel like he uses the recordings for leverage, so low key.
Yeah, because I've been around Diddy before. I've been at parties with him. There's no shortage of women that are approaching him, right? So out of all the billions of women in the world, you pick the baby mother of someone who doesn't like you.
Right.
And do you feel that this was like him doing that on purpose to get back at 50?
Definitely. It was definitely like a revenge, a beef type thing to get with his baby mother, of all people.
Fly explained that this wasn't due to a lack of options. He had attended Diddy's parties and said women approached him constantly. That's why the choice felt intentional. Why choose someone so closely connected to a person you're already in conflict with? To him, it felt like revenge, simple as that.
They said, they told me how they met and shit, but it was like...
How did they meet?
They said they met at a party through a friend or something like that. But I mean, I guess that's Hollywood though. Hollywood, everybody know each other pretty much. But still though, you know that she knew who he was. She knew that her baby father didn't like him, and she didn't like him either. So I'm sure she got with him for a reason.
Oh, so she was doing it too.
Yeah.
Oh, they were both doing it.
They
I
both
didn't even
didn't
think
like
about
the
it that
dude,
way.
so
Yeah, that's a good
they
point.
just clicked up. And like he informed me, like he had multiple girlfriends. So of course she wasn't his only girl. Like he would see her maybe a couple after a couple months, every couple months.
Well, that's just with you though. That's just with you.
Nah, he would like literally see her every couple months.
Oh, he told you that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because Don the Dealer was the first like threesome they had. So, and he was meeting up with him on a regular basis. He even mentioned after his houses were raided, he went to like the Miami mansion and met up with them again. They were talking about it.
I ain't never been to the Miami mansion or nothing. I used to go to different hotels and stuff, but we've met in Miami at hotels and whatnot.
Well, you guys never discussed price, but at the end you did get paid.
Yeah,
the first time
I got paid.
Fly also shared that he never visited the large mansions. Their meetings usually took place in hotels. He was paid the first time, and afterward the amount varied depending on how long things lasted. Some encounters went on through the night and well into the next day, sometimes lasting nearly an entire day.
It was about the cum shots. Like, it was definitely about the cum shots. One time he was like, I give you 2 bands more if you do another cum shot. So it's definitely about the cum shot.
Okay. And these sessions would last like 12 hours?
Yeah,
Minimum.
Yeah.
What was the longest you went?
I mean, it usually was go from night to morning to the afternoon. I mean, I say like 16 hours. It's just like a night to day thing, night to day. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, most human beings can't have a session like that for 16 hours. Sober.
With a little break in between.
Well, sober.
Yeah.
And you would show up and they'd be geeked up.
Sometime. I mean, they would. It depends on what night it was. Like I could tell when they were more geeked up than other nights, and but they were always on some type of something.
Right, and there'd be a tray of drugs in the room.
Yeah, they party hard. They party all.
Despite everything, communication between them remained casual. They texted like normal people. Once, when Fly needed help paying for a hotel, she sent him money without hesitation. If he was in town, they would sometimes meet casually. One of the shortest encounters happened in Los Angeles and ended just as quickly as it began. He also noticed that small details felt off, especially the marijuana. It didn't taste right. Being in LA so often, he knew what real weed was, and this wasn't it.
And he would be offering me like honey packs and like different dick pills, and sometimes he would offer me a pill and she would be like, nah, don't do that. Like most of the time she didn't want me to do no drugs. I think she was kind of like protecting me from doing drugs. But I don't know what the hell they had. I mean, I seen the pills. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but I seen pink and different pills. I don't know. They had like juice, some juice, probably Molly water or something. I don't know.
Well, this one time you went to go smoke some weed.
Oh, well, yeah. The joints always tasted funny. The joints always tasted like, I don't know, it tasted like the synthetic type. Like, I know good weed. I be in LA all the time, so I know good weed, but that wasn't no regular stuff that I was hitting. But I used to smoke them just because it was there. And it was like, but nah, it wasn't.
When Fly explained his side, he didn't describe the situation as coercion or a crime. He framed it as social encounters, parties, money exchanged afterward. Nothing that felt illegal at the time. But when asked if he felt taken advantage of, he answered honestly.
Did you feel like you were exploited?
Do I feel like I was exploited? A bit, yeah.
Yeah? How so?
I mean, I feel like the love in it was I mean, because we really was very close. Like, I felt like we was real, like, having real deep conversations and cried in front of them. And
you cried in front of them?
Yeah, I cried. And I was embarrassed to say I was up at the time. I ain't gonna lie, we was drinking De Leon and
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it was kind of like I was close to them, I thought, but it kind of felt like fake love, like, after a while. But it's just, I don't feel like I was, I did everything I wanted to. I got paid for it, but I feel like it could have been it could have been smoother. It could have been things that, it could have been more, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a better opportunity, I feel like. And
The way we used to talk, I mean, I wanted to do other business things instead of just, being somebody they hired to fuck. So, yeah, I feel like it was a bit of exploitation, and then her acting like she my girlfriend or actually care about me, and it's like, yeah, it's exploiting. Like, it was fake.
What confirmed that feeling for him was how quickly communication ended once the case was over. There were no follow-ups, no concern, no friendship. The connection vanished the moment it was no longer useful. When asked hypothetically if he would ever return, if Diddy reached out years later with more money, his answer was revealing.
Let's say Diddy gets out in a few years and he calls you up and wants to do another freak off. What would you do? And he'll double the money this time because of inflation.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Because those freak offs got you caught up in a lot of stuff afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Deal also addressed accusations aimed at 50 Cent. Some claim he was snitching by allowing certain material into the documentary, particularly footage connected to Tupac and KFD. Critics believe that content never should have been released and blame 50 Cent for it. But Gene disagreed. He believes the opposite is true. 50 Cent wasn't the one making the final decisions at all.
Everybody want to say that 50 Cent did the whole documentary. He was responsible for doing the whole documentary, what goes in there and what goes out of there. And I don't believe that. And I don't believe that he's responsible for everything that goes in there. I don't believe he's responsible for everything that goes out of there. Guys want to say that he's snitching, you know what I'm saying, because he's telling his truth about what went down and what he saw or what he heard or whatever like that. I don't know how to love my enemy. And if I gotta put out the truth about something that he was doing and is wrong, and that was wrong, I don't have no problem with that, 50. Not a problem at all. Keep doing it. Maybe enough men come out and speak out on some bull.